update. For those who don't know, there has been a assassination attempt of Donald Trump. It was done when he was at a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, around the shooting. I first heard about a possible shooting around 5:15ish or so 5:20ish Central Time. Someone asked that somebody shot the president. Since then, of course, there's been a lot of text since then. This is, of course, a very powerful image of what happened. Apparently, what appears to have happened is a guy crawled up into a roof that was unsecure, used what appeared to be a .22 rifle, and fired several shots at the Trump. One apparently grazing his ear and causing blood to come out on his face. And this famous photo is right afterwards. He's being grabbed and hoisted away. There was a big giant U.S. flag that was draped over from two cranes, as you can see here. Here I'm going to show some. This is what apparently is a Secret Service counter sniper that apparently shot at the guy that was on the roof. So they had one guy on one roof at a building, and I'm just going to play this. It's just a few seconds. This starts about right before the shooting and then shows the guy shooting back. So that was an angle from someone randomly in the crowd viewing the rally and seeing this happening to have the sniper that was at the rooftop. Here is the rooftop that shows the aftermath of this, and appears to show somebody that is deceased. And that apparently was the guy who took a shot. And apparently there was some Trump supporters who even wounded and possibly killed at this rally. And I actually have some pictures I'm going to show in a little bit of the aftermath of that. When you look up Antifa shootings, of course, Antifa's been allowed to get away with massive amounts of violence. As far as we can tell, there's an Antifa guy named Mark Violet who's been shown to be the shooter. And this is all stuff I'm seeing online. This is a picture of him. He doesn't quite look like the guy on the roof. Because the guy on the roof looks kind of skinny, and this other guy looks kind of, you can tell he looks a little bit heavier. So I'm not sure why the media is putting this guy up, portraying him as the shooter, or what else, or what information is out there. This is a sad thing too. The left has been promoting this type of violence for a while, and now this is a form of projection here. This is a Tennessee State Senator, London Lamar. While I am praying for former President Trump and hope he makes a full recovery, the extremism from the MAGA regime has brought us to this moment. So that's a really stupid thing to say, since this was obviously an anti-MAGA person who apparently wounded and killed several MAGA people and tried to assassinate Donald Trump. MAGA, by the way, stands for Make America Great Again, which you would think everybody would be, but apparently this lady is not. And this type of rhetoric is why we're in the position we're in, because a lot of leftists have been calling for violence or have been looking the other way when violence has happened. I know that Kamala Harris has even, for instance, bailed out a lot of Antifa and BLM when they were causing the riots during the summer of the 2020 elections. They were given a pass and allowed to, or called peaceful protests, that sort of thing. And of course, the leftists have been involved in a lot of the recent mass shootings. A lot of trans activists have been attacking places. So this is mainly been done by the left, these types of shootings. And of course, the left's answer to this is to ban guns somehow try to blame red MAGA rhetoric and that sort of thing. Now that's mainly most people have talked about some other details regarding this, um, and I'll try to give more updates as they go on. But yeah, I've been to a Trump rally years ago, and it was very secure. Dallas, Texas, had it in the arena. A lot of security around. So, and it looks like a Secret Service failure. Dan Bongino on his show talks about how this looks like this was something that should have been taken care of. I can show pictures of the actual roof top, so you can see a little bit of what it is I'm talking about. This is where they have this area. Was basically an open field, and this building just to the left of the field was where they had the shooting. And here I'll show. Where is my screen share just went off. Hold on. Here's some images after the shooting. There's a close-up of a black guy here. Is covered in blood from a guy that had to be removed. But here he is fist bumping the crowd afterwards. And then so always, of course, be prepared. You never know what's going to happen, man. Here's another aerial view of the rooftop. You can see this area is where the rally was, right here. This is where that Secret Service sniper was, or the counter sniper, as you will. And then this X is supposedly where the person that was later found to be killed was at. And then here's the stage where Trump would have been and of course he was hit in the right ear. It looks like, I guess, and some other people may have been wounded, may have been injured in this area to Trump's stage to right of where Trump was speaking. There was some rumor that it may have been a teleprompter, but there doesn't appear to be any teleprompters at all. And then, of course, there's Twitter for a while had I don't know if it's still trending, but they claimed that this was all staged. There's no way you can stage something like this with live rounds. So hold on a second. Let me just see one other thing here.
People are also
Okay, so one other thing. There were people behind the stage. They're basically surrounding Trump. And my wife had actually pointed this out, that nobody from behind, that was directly behind Trump, appeared to be injured or shot. It was just Trump grabbing his ear, then quickly ducking. And then there were some people that appeared to be on the right of his stage who would apparently be between Trump and where the shooter was on the roof.
That's not what I'm hearing. And that's not what I was saying.
Hold on. Okay, folks, the Secret Service, former Secret Service official Dan Bongino was talking about this as well. He's a conservative radio show host, and he had actually made some comments about this. So he is already calling for the head of the Secret Service to resign. Here's his footage. Nice.
Okay.
One of the best things about this is that you need to start, when problems like this occur, you need to start naming names. If you follow me before, you know this is kind of the issue with the Republican Party and all this other stuff. There's usually, people need to be found out who failed, and this is an obvious security failure. And names them in. So Kim Cheadle, that's the person we need to make famous, along with whoever else was connected to this shooter, which so far the only name regarding him is Mark Violet. So there'll be more people to dig in to see, who was connected to this, who should have done what. But that's mainly what I was wanting to talk about, is get this in the forefront, find out who is responsible for what is obviously a security failure, and again, at least bring some sort of media on this, because there won't be justice for some time, because our justice system is already corrupt. It's pretty obvious for that. But anyway, that's what I want to talk about for a little bit in this breaking news event. I'll try to get more information later on.